taken place. I'll give you that. This year has been a good year for the UPP, Madam Speaker. But obviously, it's a good year based on a specific event that is taking place in the Caribbean, World Cup, which the UPP, incidentally, had nothing to do with. In fact, the World Cup was conceptualized when they were in opposition. But obviously, it will bring them immense opportunities. There's no doubt about it, Madam Speaker. So the point I'm making here is that, again, 5% unemployment by any standard, by global standard, is certainly acceptable. So again, this is yet another macroeconomic variable that has been extremely satisfactory under the Antigua Labour Party for the past 28 years. We have to have a change at some point. Come on. You tell me. You get one term every 6 years. What's wrong with that? Every 30 years, sorry. What's wrong with that? Or 6, I meant 6 terms. 1 term for you, 6 for us. Nothing wrong with that. It's a democracy. Madam Speaker, moving right along, the next macroeconomic variable that we will look at is the issue of GDP growth. And the present chart shows that Antigua and Barbuda invariably, Madam Speaker, exceeds the regional average. Madam Speaker, Antigua and Barbuda, for instance, enjoyed growth rates in the region of 5.5% in 1997, compared to a regional average at that time of about 3%. And in 2001, when the region in general, Madam Speaker, experienced negative growth, Antigua and Barbuda's economy expanded by 1.5%. So again, it shows strong performance, consistent performance by the Antigua Labour Party government over the years. Now, interestingly, Madam Speaker, the only year within the last 10 years that the average growth rate in this country fell below the regional average was last year, Madam Speaker, in 2005 under the UPP government. Let me repeat that. Madam Speaker, all the fat chat that they have over there, let me repeat it. During the last 10 years, Antigua and Barbuda's economy has grown proportionally higher than the ECCU, that is the Eastern Caribbean Currency Region average growth, Madam Speaker. We have exceeded them. However, in 2005, there was actually a decline to the extent that the regional average exceeded the average rate of growth for Antigua and Barbuda. Moving on, Madam Speaker, to gross domestic product for the OECS countries. The next graph, Madam Speaker, shows very clearly that Antigua and Barbuda has been neck and neck in terms of the size of its economy compared to St. Lucia. It shows, Madam Speaker, that the two economies are just about $2.3 billion. But what is interesting, Madam Speaker, is that St. Lucia has at least twice the population size of Antigua and Barbuda. But notwithstanding that, we have been able to not only match them, Madam Speaker, but actually exceed the total amount of economic output in St. Lucia. So, for instance, in 2001, Antigua and Barbuda's economy was larger, even though marginally so, larger than that of St. Lucia. And that continued until, again, Madam Speaker, 2005, when St. Lucia caught up and marginally eclipsed Antigua and Barbuda in terms of the size of its economy. But for the most part, the two economies are almost identical in terms of size. On average, about $2.3 billion each, Madam Speaker, and that's EC dollars. Now, Madam Speaker, the next graph compares government services contribution to gross domestic product. And what we've seen here, and the comparison here is between Antigua and Barbuda and St. Lucia. And why St. Lucia? Because the economy is almost identical in terms of size. So you want to make sure you compare like with like. And what we've seen here, Madam Speaker, is that the Antigua Labour Party government over the years, and it has continued under the UPP, has delivered, that is a central government, Madam Speaker, has delivered more value added to economic growth and development than St. Lucia with a similar size economy. So again, the Labour Party must be commended, and the UPP, Madam Speaker, must be commended for building, or continuing rather, on that sound foundation, that foundation of steel that was created by the Antigua Labour Party.